Well, Brisbane's looking absolutely gorgeous from the air. Take a look at that shot from our Channel 7 helicopter.
Well, for every person that earns a living from plying the Brisbane River, there are thousands who use the river just to relax and unwind.
That's absolutely right, Buddha. And Talitha, I believe that you had a very interesting introduction to the world of sailing recently down at the Toowong Reach. Not as much wind, perhaps, that you may have liked, but at least you were able to stay dry.
Yeah, not entirely true, Dino. Have a look.
Let's have a look at that right now.
There's a tradition of sailing for pleasure on the Brisbane River that goes back to men crewing cedar-planked skiffs in the late 1800s. On weekends in the 1920s, you could expect to see ladies in crinoline dresses following the race action from the shore. And sailing was a very social pastime. Folk would head upstream or out to the bay for a picnic with family and friends. South Brisbane Sailing Club was one of the early volunteer associations to spring up around the sport. It has survived through 2 world wars and the 1974 floods, and at 105 years young, it is still going strong. Nev Murray tells me that the development along the river has seen the number of sailing clubs dwindle from 8 to 3, but there's still a healthy rivalry, a strong spirit of competition, and an open invitation to newcomers.
Now, I signed up for sailing today, not swimming, so I want to keep it that way if we can.
I'll try, but we're sailing, nothing is predictable, so...
All right.
100 years ago, the passing landscape would have been very different, and riverside high-rises do make for turbulent winds that, on occasion, can test the skills of these sailors.
How do you deal with this passing traffic?
The passing traffic, the city cats, yes, the city cats, we call them obstructions.
Wonder what they call you.
There's a bit of a gentleman's agreement between us and the city cat drivers. They're usually very good.
So it's safe enough for even the youngest members of the club, in the smallest dinghies, to feel comfortable flying solo under wind power.
Brisbane River is a fantastic waterway. A lot of people don't appreciate what this river actually has. I was fortunate enough to grow up around the river, just over the road here at St Lucia. Spent a lot of time on the river. My grandfather, my father, my uncles were all sailors on this river. And to see the sailing boats on the water here of an afternoon, particularly in the sun setting and they're all heading home, beautiful sight. Then again, I'm a sailor and I'm very passionate about it. Yeah.
You love it.
Thanks, Talitha. Well, there's an awful lot of passion goes into the preparation of tonight, and a lot of it comes from this man, the artistic director of Riverfire, Lyndon Terracini. Thanks for joining us. What can we expect, Lyndon?
Well, it's a great night. There's a fantastic buzz, Kay, as you can feel. There are more than 600,000 people out in Brisbane tonight. It's fantastic. So there'll be this terrific firework display. And, of course, the great F-111 dump and burn down both reaches of the river.
Now, not long to go. What would be going on behind the scenes?
There are 1,500 people out there. They're all on their mettle. They're all nervous. They want to do the best show they can. There are guys sitting on those barges with their hands on the trigger. It's all coordinated. They've got voices in their earphones. They're all ready to go.
And we've got a great soundtrack this year too, haven't we?
The soundtrack is fantastic. And in the middle of this soundtrack, there's a great section that's choreographed to the fireworks. And your listeners will see it and viewers will see it. It kind of goes boom, pa, chum, pa, chum, pa, chum, pa. And then fireworks swirl up the bridges. It's incredibly exciting.
We will look forward to that. Now, listen, the icing on the cake really is the F-111s, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's the only great firework display that has F-111s. And we've got, as I said, both reaches of the river, dump and burn down both reaches. It'll be fantastic.
You've earned a well-earned break. Please go and enjoy the show, Lyndon, and thank you. And we will be back with so much more after this break.
Sophie, I'm getting the feeling the bridge behind us is going to play a significant role in tonight's festivities.
You're very clever, but it's only one of the 3 bridges, 6 barges and 9 city rooftops that will all be firing this evening, which makes this one of the most complicated pyrotechnic displays.
And it's all been, thrown together in 5 minutes, has it?
Yeah, absolutely, overnight. No, in actual fact, they estimate about 6,000 hours. It's months and months of planning, and tonight is timed down to 1/100th of a second, perfectly to music.
What could possibly go wrong? wrong.
Absolutely nothing will go wrong. It's going to be perfect. And we're so lucky to be able to see it all from the back of the boat, as are a small number of people who are all getting ready, because it's not too far away. And of course, as you would well know, when something like this happens, well, you know, we're enjoying our river. And we take care of it, and it's part of the River Festival. And John Sluter has found out other ways that we can all do the right thing.
As pretty as it looks, it might surprise you to know that every week 350 plastic bags are pulled from this waterway. And believe me, that's just the tip of the rubbish pile. Tony Rice is a renowned kite artist who's doing what he can to get people thinking green. So show us how you do this, Tony. How do we make a kite out of an old plastic bag?
The old plastic bag, well, it's pretty old, but it's going to work. This is cut out just in a simple pattern, a simple diamond shape.
With the help of local schoolchildren, Tony's creating 350 kites that'll be on display at South Bank as part of River Festival's Out of the River Imagine art exhibition.
We could display that many kites at once, all linked together, made of these, to illustrate the fact that we've got a problem with rubbish in the river, but at the same time we can turn it around and make something looking quite beautiful.
The Out of the River Imagine exhibition was dreamt up by Lyndon Terracini, the festival's artistic director.
Well, I hope that people like the ideas. That's always encouraging. And I hope that people want to take those things further and maybe think of things that we haven't thought of that they could use.
Lyndon's also commissioned works made from plastic bottles, and a striking installation has been hung across the Victoria Bridge, made of 1 million bread tags that were collected by children from the Shayla Park State School. Those tags were painstakingly assembled by the men and women working at the Endeavour Foundation.
It's just saying, imagine if we didn't get them out of the river. Imagine what would happen if all these bread tags did end up in our river. How dreadful that would be.
Well, the clock is really ticking, and I've been very lucky enough to be joined by someone who really knows how to beat the clock, Olympic bronze and gold medalist Jess Schipper. Thanks for dropping in, Jess.
Hi, thanks very much for having me.
It's great to have you here. Now, you're obviously still on cloud 9 about having this great success in Beijing.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've been home for 4 days now, and I don't think my feet have still hit the ground. You know, I've been trying to catch up with everybody and just doing a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's been pretty good.
It sounds great to me. Now, you're a Brisbane girl, born and bred, and you live at Redcliffe, but you've never been to a Riverfire before.
No, I usually sit at home and watch it on TV, so this is a pretty, you know, great first experience to watch it firsthand.
And before I let you go, can you share with us one of perhaps your most memorable moments when you're in Beijing?
You know, it's pretty hard to pick a few of them. I think definitely for myself, the gold medal in the relay, but also I met Princess Mary and Prince Frederick and Roger Federer, and also being able to watch Michael Phelps achieve his 8 gold, you know, just to become the greatest sports person ever was pretty exciting too.
It sounds great. Thanks so much for being with us here this evening. I'll let you get away and say hello to some of the people who I'm sure want to meet you in the crowd here with us this evening. And can I say once again, congratulations, and perhaps go and enjoy a champagne. And I think the champagne's probably flowing pretty freely over there where you are, Dean.
It certainly is. Well, we're having an absolute ball. Now, earlier this evening, Alistair cooked us a spectacular gourmet barbie with lamb burgers. They were delicious.
Well, Dino, I'm certainly sorry I missed that, but I am in time for dessert. And Alistair, I'm thinking something of a Riverfire theme, maybe some flames or something.
Shane Wilke, yes we are. We're going to use the 10-year-old bush mills. My dad will have a tear in either eye, but this is definitely a dessert fit for the best front rower the world has ever seen.
Ah, smart as well as a good cook. I like that.
Strawberries from the Sunshine Coast, blood oranges from Mandubra, just a wee bit further up the coast, gilding the lily now with a bit of icing sugar.
You're gilding it all right. What is that? Icing sugar?
A wee bit of icing sugar going right down the barrel of the camera, and then
stand back.
A bit of Irish malt whiskey. Oh yes. Follow that F111.
It's like an F111 afterburner,
exactly,
isn't it?
it is, and you promised that, and it's beautiful. Look,
that's it. Simple
while we deal with that, we'll go to a quick break, and we'll be back shortly with QBE Riverfire. Look at this.
Welcome back. You're watching QBE Riverfire. Rebecca, we have found our positions.
I've got the best spot on the boat.
We found a bed, and it's only a few minutes until the F111s will roar through the city centre. Hello.
Chick's all right there. You're
the top up would be nice. I'd like a blanket,
comfortable
actually.
enough. You want a top
Blankie would be good.
It's not like you, Gibber.
Thanks, darling. As I said, only minutes away. Those F111s are going to do their dump and burn right above us, so we can lie back.